Out of the sun. Let me see if I keep you out of the sun.
Thank you so much for tuning into the Chrissy Mayer podcast. We're on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening on iTunes right now, please leave a 5-star review. I will be reading the best reviews every week. I'm getting distracted. I'm reading the best reviews every week, so long as they are 5 stars. It could be creepy, sexy, whatever it is. I appreciate the 5-star reviews. So excited to have this gal on the podcast today. And really, for those of you that are just listening audio, you're really missing out on you're really missing out on a show here. Wow, this gal, she is the host of the Nikki Delano Show on Vivid Radio on SiriusXM. She also has appeared in Grand Theft Auto as Nikki the Porn Star. You can follow her at Nikki Delano on IG and Twitter. Nikki Delano, hello. Oh my goodness.
Credits. I have so much more. But no. Hi, guys. So today I was debating whether to do it inside with my doppelgangers or by the pool. We're probably going to mix it up a bit because it's so hot here in sunny California. For those who know where to live.
That's an amazing pool. Oh, my God.
Ready?
Is she gonna go? I thought she was gonna go in. I thought I was gonna lose her.
Fun fact, I cannot swim.
You have a pool, but you can't swim. Is it deep? Is it shallow enough for you to stand in? I hope.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually almost drowned one time in there, and just kidding.
Oh no.
Yeah. If you guys wondering why I'm moving around, it's so hot out here.
It's so hot. Yeah, I can't imagine your feet are probably boiling up. So
no,
Nikki,
I gotta say something funny.
Okay.
Look, I'm wearing Rugrat socks.
Oh, I love it. Rugrat Scott. Really, you guys listening on audio are missing out on so much. You'll have to go to YouTube and
coming back to the original spot.
Yeah, so that's Nikki and her
cardboard
cutouts. When were those made? Were those
not cardboard? Those are my doppelgangers.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So Nikki, talk to us about, so right now it's the end of July, we've been dealing with this, this BS for a few months right now. What do you think, you do a lot of feature dancing and you're one of the busiest and one of the most requested girls for this. How will the strip clubs return? Do you think that, are they going to enforce, patrons to wear masks? Do you have to wear a mask? Do you know what's going to happen with that?
Okay, so I didn't know any information until yesterday when my agent called me. He asked me, "Are you returning?" He was like, "Are you a hard return? Like they think you're gonna be returning, right?"
Everyone loves a hard return.
Of course. I miss it. Towards the end, before COVID began, I was getting a little burnt out because picture 10 years of on the road every weekend, hosting every weekend. I was starting to get a little burnt out, and I was glad for the break, but now it's like itching to get back on the road. Okay, so the thing is, patrons, once you go into the club now, it's not for every club, but for the majority. For right now, they're taking your temperature. They take your temperature.
Okay. So with that little gun, like the little temperature gun up to your head. Okay.
They're taking your temperature, and they have to wear a mask. Not all clubs, but some clubs you have to wear a mask. And he was telling me how us ladies, we can incorporate masks in our costumes, like something cute, like a nurse one or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they're considering maybe putting plastic around the stage. But for me, being a feature entertainer, there's 2 different features. There's a porn star feature, and then there is a feature, which she's like all elaborate. Like, I'm gonna say a name, Rubber Doll, she's amazing. She's like, just uses fire. Like, she's incredible when it comes to the stage. For a porn star feature, it's not so much on our costumes and how we perform. It's more of like a name thing, and more of like they want to see something sexy and fun, and just like, because a feature, they don't normally get on their knees or mainly just up, doing an intricate show.
Right.
Features, we're like, we're just nasty.
You're kind of just like grinding it out on stage. Like I haven't been to as many strip clubs as I'd like, but like I remember there was one I went to in Queens in New York, where I live, where I was living at the time, and like it was like I think was it called the Red Zone? I can't remember. It was like anything goes at this club. Like I saw a guy, like I saw a stripper, like she's sort of like backed her ass up and this guy like put his face like in her ass. And I was like, oh, I wonder if she's like a porn feature girl or if they just were like pretty like loose with the rules there.
I mean, there's certain rules. We'll get to that in a second, and I'll let you know what's the craziest club I've been to, and I've seen stuff like that. I mean, I don't get that crazy like that. I mean, I have my boundaries because I feature so much. I wouldn't put myself at risk putting myself, my vagina or my ass in somebody's face because, you know, that's I don't want nothing touching, you know.
Yeah, you kind of don't know where those dudes have been.
I'm very touchy and hand close, but I know my limits and my boundaries, and I have a lot of fun with it. And I have games. It's funny that you mentioned it. I used to be an activity specialist for elementary school kids. Very creative when it comes to games in general. So I have my games when I use on stage for the men, because men are like third graders.
What did you have them do? Ring toss? Like what kind of game?
I'll tell you in a bit. So we'll go back to the game, but for right now, girls, there's very minimal girls on the road because right now, Texas and Florida, they revoked their liquor licenses. So those clubs rely on their liquor licenses to feature for events and for the clubs to be sustained in general. So they can't afford to bring out features if they don't have their liquor license or to remain open because they're known for liquor.
Right.
So a lot of clubs are hurting big time, and it's tough because I literally lost me like 25, 20, maybe to 30 because I feature every weekend. We've been for months now, so I would have probably featured already 25 times by the time by now since we started. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Some might be canceled, but the majority will rebook. I mean, if they're going to be open or if they close down, who knows? But it's that bad, and I was bummed out. I was happy in the beginning because I didn't think it would be this long.
Yeah, nobody did.
But the girls do have to wear masks. Like the house girls do have to wear masks. The thing is that I don't know how long they have to have the mask on for because I personally, I've spoken to people in the medical world and just people in general about the mask. It does more harm than it does good because
absolutely,
a study with somebody who's really fit and the way he breathed was at 98% without a mask. And when they did the study of him running with the mask on, it brought it down 10%. It came down to 89%. Like he lost that much of oxygen in his body because of the mask.
Wow.
So in general, myself personally, I went to get my hair done and I caught a panic attack with the mask on, and I was sitting there for 5 minutes. Yeah. So I honestly think the masks, they do more harm than good. I just think they have to be more hygienic. They just have to just keep their distances, wash their hands, just make sure not to put their hands in their faces. And I think we should start using those. I'm going to buy one. I haven't bought one myself. There's these clear visors.
Oh, I've seen those. Like you look like a beekeeper, sort of.
Yeah. We can wear like the mask on our chin area to cover it up there, or I don't know, but like having that mask covering my nose is just very claustrophobic for me. So
it is.
It's not conducive for everybody, and especially for myself. So if I were to go feature dance and I have to wear a mask, I would have to hold off. I wouldn't be able to perform because I could barely even walk with it on.
Yeah, you're breathing in your own CO2. I don't understand how people are doing it for hours and hours every day. Like I'll see people in their cars, people like running and exercising by themselves. And I'm like, are you that brainwashed? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to look like, oh, look at the booty.
Is that a bathing suit or is that just like?
It's a bodysuit.
Oh, it's cute.
It's a bodysuit, aka bikini. You know, us ladies, we can use anything for bikini.
Yeah, it's cute.
Whatchamacallit, the gyms, I'm with Equinox. And they told us that if we want to work out, we have to wear a mask to do cardio, to do weight training. I'm like, I'm not going to pay you guys $200 a month for me to come in, work out with a mask, and almost die. So, no.
Yeah.
I put my membership on hold. I have an elliptical here. I have a bicycle. I have a treadmill. I have weights. But it's not the same, though, going to an actual gym working out because here, there's so many distractions in my home. You know, like if the phone rings, the TV will be on, you know what I mean? So I've been doing it, putting in front of the TV and just like biking, watching TV. And
That's really good.
There's also an app one of my friends introduced me to. It's like for the bikes, and it does intervals. So if you can do that, I mean, anything works. And even walking, like when I'm walking my dog, I see people walking around, just getting workouts.
Yeah.
But going back to the strip club life, I'm gonna get in here. Yeah, temperature, masks, girls having to wear masks, features. It's up to them, and then probably they're gonna put plexiglass around it. But for me, it takes
plexiglass around the stage, so you can't
away from the experience of going to the club. So for me, I feel like, I mean, if that's gonna be the case, then the club industry might die down. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, you know, it takes away from the whole club experience because they can go to a bar for that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Because that's part of the fun is to like see someone an arm's length away is to like, so are people so does that apply to lap dances now, or is it like no lap dances for a minute? Or
some girls can do lap dances and some can't, but the thing is that's how most like house girls make their money is with lap dances. So I don't see how, you know, how is that even working? Honestly, I haven't been to a club ever since, so I can't really stay hands-on. There are a few girls still feature dancing, like some clubs that they had bookings for that hadn't canceled them because of their specific zones. Like Oklahoma didn't have any restrictions as far as like, you know, closed down. But yeah, it's been pretty tough. And there's supposed to be an expo, the Feature Dancer Expo in October, but Exotica for Miami just got canceled for September. So who knows if the expo is going to actually happen.
Do you think AVN will happen in January?
As of right now, it's a go, but who knows? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I really hope it happens. So I'm gonna say yes for right now because I'm super excited. I love AVN. It's
so fun.
Yeah, it's our option of the adult industry. And in my opinion, I hope it does happen. I hope it really does happen.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like, do you think girls would be giving lap dances with a mask on, or like, is it almost just like kind of ruins it?
Maybe they'll give dances, but just not as close as they normally would, you know, like on the actual lap or maybe around. I don't know. Like, it's kind of like a weird thing. Or maybe they should have like a thing like a plexiglass that's face to face and then they could do like the grinding. I don't know.
Yeah, a socially distant lap dance doesn't sound good to anybody.
I know, it's so weird. Honestly, I can't even tell you. Like, I'm just like, I'm in shock. I was told by my accountant it's going to be like this for 2 more years. I was like,
what?
Years until we get a vaccine in place. And I've been told, like, people don't believe in it. But then I know people who've gone through it and they say it's a tough sickness. It's really tough for them. Really tough for them to go through. So, you know, if I know people personally that have gone through it and experienced the actual sickness, I believe in it, you know? A lot of people don't believe in it. And
it's definitely a real virus for sure. It's just like it hasn't really killed more than the average flu every year.
But you know what it is? They're not giving the statistics on the internet of, you know, how many people are surviving, how many are dying, what's the percentages. There's nothing out there that's giving us those numbers for us to really understand the facts of this disease, which, you know what I mean? Like
it's frustrating. Yeah, you kind of have to like do your own research and like just look at as many sites as you can and figure it out for yourself, which it shouldn't be. Like these numbers shouldn't be fudged, but we know they are. And we know that like hospitals get more funding the more COVID cases they have. So, I mean, we joke about it like, oh, this guy died in a motorcycle accident, but it was, you know, a COVID death or something. But
that sucks. I didn't know it was like that. Damn. So they're milking it for real.
They're milking it for real. Yeah.
That's
it's crazy. About Grand Theft Auto, how did that happen? Did they reach out to you?
Okay, so during that time I did the Howard Stern show, and when I was in town in New York City, I did it was out of New York. It was for the company Hollywood Stars, which they are, sorry, I saw glasses.
That's cute. I like a little wardrobe change.
Yeah, I know, because I was sweating in those. So Hollywood Stars is the company that does the voiceovers for like the video games. And yeah, I was in town to do the Howard Stern. I flew in to do the Howard Stern show, and then right after I went to go do the voiceover for the game, and they contacted my publicist and everything, and that's how it was all set up. Normally they contact my PR for things like that, or my agent, but at that time they contacted my publicist. So
yeah.
And then yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I had to say the same thing over and over and over and over again, like the same line like 10 times.
What was the line?
Huh?
What was the line?
Remember, it's like strip club lingo. Like yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. I was in there for like 2 hours, and yeah, you can go to the Unicorn Club and get some black cats.
Ooh, does the character really look like you?
So at the time, it did. At the time, I had black hair. Now I'm a natural ginger. I'm a natural redhead. So I went blonde to black, blonde to black to orange to weird colors to rainbow hair.
What do you like the best? What's your favorite? I
like the platinum blonde.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's fun, but at the time I was going through a phase of I wanted dark hair, and so at that time I have a dark haired character.
Yeah, no, that's cool. How was being on the show with Howard? How'd you like him?
It was actually awesome. He was not as a pervert as I thought he would be. He's known for being very perverted.
He was not as much of a pervert as you thought.
He used to be back in the day, but he really was.
Yeah.
He was actually very gentleman. So the contest was we had a talent, and we had to sit on a Sibian. So there was 2 other girls with myself, and my talent was I was going to sing a song in Spanish. And as soon as I sat down on the Sibian, I totally forgot the words.
Oh no!
For so long, that song, you have no idea. It was called Suavemente, Bésame.
Oh yeah.
Suavemente, and then I think I sang like a sentence of it, and then my mind just went bloop, and yeah.
Oh.
The other girl told a lame joke, and then the other girl was squirting, and so the girl who told this terrible joke won. I came in second.
I would have thought the squirting girl would have won.
Yeah, but they thought that was too much of a cheap trick, just to like you know. But yeah, so I came in second for my my forgotten words.
Oh no, because you're Puerto Rican, you're Colombian and Italian. Are you from Miami?
No, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, all right. So, but you started in the business in Miami through Model Mayhem discovered you, and then you started shooting with Mind Geek.
So how it went was, so I created a Model Mayhem account because adult work was nothing I ever thought I would ever do. I was doing modeling, fitness modeling, a bunch of different modeling, and a scout from Mind Geek, which is Brazzers and Mofos and all of them, Twisties, scouted me, and they asked me if I would want to shoot adult content, and I said hell effing no, hell fucking no. My family is very religious. I went to Catholic school. My family, if my grandmother found out, who wants to see some booty?
I hope this doesn't get me kicked off YouTube.
But, hi guys, my little sister. Hey. She's like FaceTiming me. She's like, Nikki. She's always calling me. But it's funny. I'm gonna have one of my little sisters come out and fly out with me, and I'm gonna put her on OnlyFans. Nothing sexual, just like just like cute little thingies here and there. But anyway, back to the topic. Okay, so what were we talking about again?
We were talking about how you got started with Mind Geek and Model Mayhem.
Yeah. I went off on a tangent. Okay, so yeah, I was doing modeling. I never really considered doing adult work after they contacted me and recruited me. But then I was dating a guy at the time, and I found out he cheated on me. He's one of these muscle men, like a super buff, steroided out dude.
Wow.
And I found out he cheated on me, and I was like,
how did you find out?
It's women, when they have their intuitions, they're detectives. So
we do kind of know, and then we stalk until we're right.
Yeah, the proof, and I find the proof, and we have people in the same circle, and I found out. Anyway, so I was like, you know what, fuck this. He wants to play the game with me. I'm gonna play the game with him even worse. So I contacted them, And I flew down to Miami to shoot for Mofos. I was there for a week. And then I then flew out the following week to shoot a whole week for Bang Bros.
Okay. So you
And
really just dove right in. That's exciting.
yeah, like it was just so much people trying to book me, but at the same time I was working for nonprofit. I was an office manager for nonprofit. I had just graduated college, and
Wow.
I had a normal job, and it was just really hard. So I had to technically, I took off sick leave, from work, and then I had to technically, just continue the sick leave stuff. And it was getting to a point where I couldn't have any more sick leave, so I had to decide what I wanted to do. And but anyways, so he found out. He found out that I shot a movie. One of his friends told him, and this was in the first month that I shot. Because shooting for major companies, like mainstream companies from MindGeek and Bang Bros.
Yeah, that's really good. Like right out of the gate, you're working with these major people.
And he found out, and he wanted to murder me. It was a major revenge. Like, it was basically me going out there to say, "Fuck you. You're gonna fuck me. I'm gonna fuck you."
I love it.
I'm gonna show all your friends I fucked other people.
Do you know if he saw it, or do you know if friends of his saw it?
He's of course he saw it. That's how he found out from his friend. His friend showed him, and that's how that was my revenge towards him. It was a revenge thing. Like, fuck this. You're gonna fuck me. You're gonna fuck me over with somebody else. Watch this. I'm gonna fuck you even harder.
Watch it.
Yeah, that was the whole thing about it.
Yeah, which I love. But if you had just started for revenge, you wouldn't have lasted this long. So obviously, something you love it.
And then I broke up, and he still bothers me to this day.
Really?
But once I had the taste of it, I just was like, this is actually really fun. Like, I'm having a good time. But I'm living in New York. I'm born and raised in New York. So it's like, if I really want to take this serious, I'm going to have to move to California.
Why? So, because is there more shooting happening in California, pretty much?
The Mecca. That's why they call it the porn capital, the porn city, Porn Valley. LA.
Isn't Vegas also kind of a big one too?
They have companies, but it's all mainly in the valley, Porn Valley. Yeah, I mean, they have in Europe, but if you're shooting in Porn Valley, that's where the majority of the companies are. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to fly to LA and pursue it. So like, fuck it. Let me just go out there and have a good time and see how it goes. And here I am. In February of next year will be 10 years.
Wow, that's amazing. I remember I was listening to one of your other interviews. You said that after you did your first scene or whatever, that you were cum drunk. And I was I've never heard anybody say that.
I didn't know they had dick set size or that can do those things. I've never had, I never fucked a porn guy or anybody like that before. So it's like a different experience. And yeah, it was I almost died.
How is it different? Walk me through, you're with your first porn guy, what were you noticing? What is different? Because aren't they all just guys, or what is really different about a porn guy than a regular guy?
Porn guy that he was actually very experienced. He was, because when you start really in the adult industry, you start doing a lot of college scenes, a lot of fun scenes. But this particular guy, he was really popular, and he knew what he was doing, so he was experienced. So it's not like a guy who just bangs you and you're in your own home.
Who was it?
It was a guy named Tony Rubino. He's popular in Miami.
Oh, okay, cool.
Small guy, but small guys come with big packages, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
It's funny though, yeah. Tony Rubino out of Miami. Everybody knows who he is. He shoots a lot out there, and so yeah, he's a professional at what he does. So it's kind of like a male prostitute kind of a thing. Like, a male prostitute will give you the full-on experience where you're having sex with a random, a normal guy. They don't know. They know how to fuck, but they're not a professional.
So it's the sex is just 100 times better, basically, is what you're saying. The pumps are better. The thrust is better. He probably has the rhythm down. He's in better shape. Yeah.
Exactly. Same way you put it, just like that. He has his he knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing. Yeah, and it was intense, and I was dead afterwards. I went to heaven and I came back 10 times. I came back like 10 times. But yeah.
Like, do the guys, yeah, if this is a dumb question, just let me know. But it's like, once you start getting to porn, do the guys, like, can they just, like, come in you right away? Or do you...
No. Okay, so that's considered... Sorry, I'm moving again because I'm...
It's okay.
I'm on my, you know... Hi, guys.
Yeah, mixing it up. She has a little dog.
Boobies. I have so much on my bed. Okay, so yeah. So, no. So they cannot come in you. That is another type of scene that's called a cream pie scene. And that is actually, you know, they have categories in porn on different scenes that you can do. So if they want to come in you, that's a different scene. That's called a cream pie scene. So no, they have to pay more for a cream pie. I know there's so many logistics about it. And yeah, the cream pie is definitely a more pricier scene because, I mean, some girls, they're not even on birth control, and I'm like surprised.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, do you have to be on birth control, or do they just sort of like leave it to you to like?
Some girls, they're not on birth control, and I'm like,
what? So how does that happen? Right. So it's like you're not on birth control. Like, what are the odds then that you would just like get pregnant from work? Like,
there's some ladies that do get pregnant from the adult industry from, you know, not being on birth control, and I mean, to each their own. I don't put anybody down. Like, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. Some maybe they think they can get pregnant, but I mean, intercourse is intercourse. And even if you're not coming inside, there's still stuff. There's still, you know, you can make it get pregnant.
The pre-cum.
Exactly, but they don't get pregnant. So.
Interesting. That's interesting stuff. Yeah, because I imagine like what would happen if a guy just like couldn't hold it in, and then I mean I imagine that would be seen as like pretty unprofessional, and then.
That's happened before. It's happened before. I shot an anal scene, and a guy came in my ass beforehand. And he was so mad, and he was mad at me. And I'm like, what are you fucking mad at me for?
You're like, I'm just doing my job. I'm just being hot.
And he was a producer, and he's also the talent. And he's a big somebody well known. But like, don't get mad at me. It's not my fault, you know.
Yeah.
I can't control your dick. You know what I mean? So.
Like, it's not my fault for being hot.
And your dick couldn't control itself in my asshole, and you came in my ass, and without even telling me, I should be mad here.
Did you feel it at the time, or you didn't know till he told you?
His dick got soft.
Okay. There you go.
Like, and then I felt something hot inside. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh no.
And I had to do it because we didn't have enough content. We had not redo it, but we had to finish it off. We had to get back hard again so we could have more content. We had to have a certain amount, and I was pissed because it's like, you know, that's not fair. You know, it's not fair.
Yeah. So when that happens, right, and he has to like get it going again, is that like I don't know, is it harder, especially as the guys get older, is it harder for them to like come back again and get ready to reshoot it, you know?
Actually, no. I think the older they are, the easier it is for them, because for guys, it's mental. It's all mental. For women, it's different, but for men, it's mental. If you're a bitch and you're on set, it's harder for them to maintain an erection because they need to feel, you know, a certain way. So you even if you don't like the guy, you don't have chemistry with the guy, you have to maintain some kind of professionalism, because some girls, they come in and they act like a diva, and I'm always the type of girl, like, you know, you gotta be humble, because in a matter of seconds your popularity can drop in a heartbeat. And when you're shooting with men in general, like, if a guy feels like shit, or if you're being an asshole with him or a bitch, you know, that can affect his erection, you know? So.
Yeah. Penises don't like bitches.
Exactly. So even if you don't like the guy, he's ugly, he's hideous. Well, there's no hideous guys in the adult industry. But, I mean, even if, you know, he does something you may not like, you just talk to him, but talk to him the right way. You have to pick and choose your words. And then when he's done, then you can have your you motherfucker, this and that. You know, you guys can afterwards. But during the scene, don't do that, because, you know, unless he's being really aggressive and hurting you and doing stuff that's not in your consent, like put it in your ass when you say it, that's something completely different. But I mean, like, don't be a bitch, like, if he asks you to help him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, some guys, they need help, like, with a little bit of a blowjob to get back hard. Like, I mean, if it's for like a minute, it's fine. But if they want you to set them off for 10 minutes to get them hard, that's a different story. Sorry, you're on your own, dude.
Yeah.
So,
And because I get it, because it's like you have to like pump them up, and like guys need to feel kind of like manly, and they need to feel like they're the thing. So
they're the alpha. They're
yeah.
like, but porn is really, heterosexual porn is really about the woman, you know, it's all about the girls. So, and then gay porn is obviously about the guys. So the guys have to understand too that, you know, it's about the woman. You guys have to make sure the woman looks good and treat the girl with respect. And there's a lot of guys in porn that are really, really respectful. Like I love working with Johnny Sins. He's awesome.
I hear a lot about him.
A really, really sweet performer. I got lipstick here. Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, if you see bruises, it's not somebody hit me. I got filler done. Even my top lip. I forgot to cover it up. I'm totally thinking about it now.
I can't see anything.
No, I got fillers done on Friday. Like my lips, here, and I had major bruising. And even my lip is a little bit stiff right now. But I was supposed to be in Vegas right now shooting for a photo shoot. I had to reschedule because my lip is still not completely healed.
Oh, no.
All right, guys, if you see bruises, I didn't get hit.
Yeah, no, I can't see anything. Yeah,
I'm
you look great.
I'm Latina. I'm the first to hit, not the one to beat it.
Yeah. How do you, like, what if you are doing a scene with a guy that you're not into, you don't have chemistry with?
Oh my gosh.
Do you try to just like, do you try to just like focus on like something?
There's only been one time this happened to me. So I was shooting for Hustler. The company, everybody was great, but the talent, oh my God, he was such an asshole. Him and I were bickering back and forth. And the scene gets nominated for an Alien Award.
Wow.
It was so crazy because that scene, it was a good scene, but beforehand, him and I were going back and forth, like fighting or arguing. I don't know why we were arguing because this is a long time ago, but him and I were arguing back and forth, and I didn't want to shoot with him. He was an asshole. He was too arrogant.
Wow.
And then, you know, we were just not clicking whatsoever, and that never happens with me. I'm just very laid back and chill and cool and relaxed, and happens to come out that
So you weren't getting along. So in the moment, what were you trying to focus on so that you could just get through the scene?
Afterwards, I had to talk with him. I was like, let's do the scene, you know, like, you know, we had like a little icebreaker before we started, and like, you know, we just talk like little random little whatever. But I think the little icebreaker, you know, oh, I know what it was. He wanted me to keep sucking his dick way after for like the longest. And I was getting tired because I'm like, dude, I have to like keep you hard. Of course, yeah, but like, that's not my job. I'm not your fucking fluffer. Like, I will help you out. I cater to the talent, you know.
Yeah, you're a team player.
Yeah, I'm a team player. But there's a point where it's taking advantage of the situation. And I'm like, when I feel that way, that's when my Latina fire comes out, and I can separate, you know, being team player and being taken advantage of. And for me, I just felt like it was almost 10 minutes. It was a minute.
Yeah.
And even the crew were looking at me like they felt bad because I was like there for a minute trying to get them up. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. You need to do it yourself. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, and then he was like, oh, you're being a bitch. So something like that.
You're like, I'm blowing someone I don't even like. I'm not a bitch.
Yeah, like, we just like, I'm like, it's not my fault. You can't stay hard, you know. I've never seen him in a movie ever again.
Really?
I've never seen him again in the industry. I don't even know where he went. Like maybe he's still in. I never seen him again.
Is he like a recognizable name?
I can't remember his name either.
Oh, okay. You really left an impression. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you guys feel? So you win this award for this scene together.
It came out great. The scene. I just separated my feelings and just put it aside and just, you know, did what I had to do, and you know, I did it as best as I could. And yeah.
Yeah. How often do you have to do that? Like kind of separate?
That's the only time. I've always been able to, it's always been the opposite. A lot of people get intimidated by me. They get scared because since I come in, I'm very confident, and people take that as arrogant, and they think I'm a bitch. I get that so many times. People thought before they knew me that I'm a bitch. Like when I have myself dolled up and I come into a room, you know, I represent myself in a certain way, and people get scared. They're like, they get intimidated. I've had so many guys that they're like scared to even like touch me because they think growl at them or bite them or something. But I'm such a sweet, loving person, like very chill, relaxed, goofy, but they don't know me, so they can't tell. They don't know, you know?
Yeah,
That's
because
why
you
it's good
are,
to have.
yeah, you're confident and you carry yourself well, and they probably think like, oh wow, like I don't feel 100% confident in myself. Like everybody does. Everybody's got something that they don't feel
And
great about.
I feel like for us, as a company, for like a company that's shooting people that they haven't worked together, or like even in general, they should give them at least 15-30 minutes to get to know each other, like talk, chat, you know, build up that.
Yeah, have a coffee.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. And I think that's an icebreaker, so that when you guys shoot the scene, you know, it's not as weird, or because it's like, picture a normal person just meeting somebody for the first time and going to fuck them, you know, that's gonna be kind of hard. I mean,
Yeah, especially if you're not, like, we've all done that. We've met some guy at a bar, instant chemistry, boom, you can't wait to take them home. But like for someone where you don't meet under those circumstances, yeah, you need to do something to like get you there where you're,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So I think they should do that. People they haven't worked together or they've never met, they should ask these questions. And I've worked with pretty much everybody, not everybody, but there's still people I haven't worked with, and it's, I mean, not for girls, but I mean for guys. For guys I've never worked with before, it's a good thing. For girls, it's a little bit different because, you know, they don't have to stay wrecked, they don't have to stay hard. But for guys, I think it's a good thing when they're working with girls they've never met before, or, you know, I think it's a good thing as an icebreaker for them. I
Yeah.
think it's really easy, and it's, I mean, it is for the most part for most girls, but I think that it'll be a better scene, you know, it'll be a better scene that, you know, they come acquainted with each other, or maybe give them their information the day before and they can text, chat back and forth. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, do something to break the ice before, you know, you actually get out of hair, makeup, and then go straight to set, photos, band,
Right.
shoot sex stills. Like, it's a little bit weird, you know?
Yeah, of course. Did you ever have a guy or someone that you worked with like have kind of like a lingering crush on you after you were done shooting, where they would like, would they keep reaching out, or they would like, yeah, I bet that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, definitely. That happened more when I was new. Now that I've been in the industry for a while, not so much, not so much. But in the beginning, definitely, for sure. Like, and also with the new guys all the time, they catch crushes on girls all the time.
Really?
I separate, you know, the sex, because like, oh my god, the sex was so good. They get a crush, but it's not a crush; it's lust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's a performance, yeah. And it's
yeah,
like,
new guys are like infatuated, you know. It's a good thing, it's cool, but then they'll learn down the road that, you know, it was just lust. So
yeah.
definitely lust.
So you had some crossover success, right? Like I want to, so like, yeah, there's Lisa Ann, Jenna Jameson, Sasha Grey. They crossed over from mainstream to adult. Also, Maitland Ward is a really good example of this. Like, what do you think are some of the, like the stigmas and the challenges that go along with that?
Crossing over to mainstream, there obviously there's always a stigma because they don't give you the top role automatically. They give you the role, the sexy role. They give you the role of the girl who's down to get naked, the girl who's gonna be like the stripper in the scene, or the girl who's gonna be like the fake porn in the scene. I've done some things like that, and they don't take you seriously because they know that porn is not real acting in their opinion, and porn there is definitely real acting. Like
Absolutely.
Bree Mills and Jackie St. James shoots a lot of movies that are real acting, like real shit on acting. And I played in features where you have to really act a certain role, and they'll do the take 1,000 times until you get that acting done right. Like if you have a real dialogue for a feature, like it's legit. You have to act. And they also tell you take acting classes. So going into the mainstream world, they perceive that type of acting as a joke, like it's not real acting, so they won't take you serious. For them to, so Maitland Ward came from mainstream. She didn't go from porn to mainstream. She came from mainstream into porn, so it was different for her. Sasha Grey, she was very girl next door ish. She had connections. It's also with connections too. It's all about connections and who you network with and who you know. So we know it's already. It's all about politics. So
Right.
who was the other girl you mentioned?
Oh, Jenna Jameson, Lisa Ann,
Jenna,
Sasha
because
Grey.
she was the number one porn star at the time. She made it as in her era. It was a lot different too. Back in the day, there wasn't as much competition. There wasn't as many girls that like now. Everybody wants to do adult work. Everybody wants.
Wow. Why do you think that is?
It's because it's sex sells. Sex will always sell, and everybody likes sex. I mean, sex is it's a primal thing. It's something. It's if you can't have it, you're gonna go and seek it on the internet. You know what I mean? So there will always be sex.
It will always find a way, one way or another.
Exactly. And so there's so many other guys who are like myself. I'm very shy in high school and everything. I was always been shy. So there's many people out there that they're super shy. They can't go up to a girl, so they'll go on the internet and look at porn, and they want to come too. So
Yeah. And camming, it's like there's such a wide range of what you can do.
They develop crushes on girls. Like some people they can't separate internet from reality, and then when they go into the camming world, they develop bonds with other girls, and it becomes like a crush thing, things like that.
Yeah. Do you think that guys who watch a lot of porn, that it actually like affects their sexual performance negatively when they finally like get with a girl in person?
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in two different ways. So there's the guys who watch a lot of porn because they can't get girls, so they watch a lot of porn because they can't get girls. And then there's people who actually watch porn to experiment, to learn new things, like guys who want to like up their game with their girlfriends, or guys who are just new at it. They're maybe 18, 19 years old, or they want to up their game and they want to see what's out there as far as like sex positions or what they can do to please a woman. You know what I mean? So maybe they'll go on there and experiment and look. And of course, guys, everybody watches porn. Whether they say they don't, they do. Mm-hmm. So I think there's those. And then there's also the couples who watch porn together just to, have fun with it. So there's three categories, in my opinion. So.
And you think that the category of people that rely just way too heavily and maybe they're not meeting enough girls are the ones that probably are negatively affected because they're not checking in with to see like how what they're learning is actually panning out with who they're.
Maybe the guys, I feel like the guys who can't get girls, they feel rejected so many times. They just carry out to going to watching porn because they get rejected so many times. They're not confident enough to go pick up a girl. They feel like they don't have that confidence, or maybe they're not. In their opinion, they feel like they're not attractive, or you know what I mean, or even people who I don't know. Let's see like that. They don't attractive. They don't have that they can go up to a person. Like myself, if I like a guy now, back in the day I wouldn't, but now if I like somebody, I'll go up to them like, hey, what's up? Like, hey, how you doing? How's it going? Just have a simple conversation. But not many people can do that. Back in the day, being shy, I would never do that. I would never ever do that. But there's many people who can't do that. They just can't go up to anybody like, oh, hey, how you doing? And especially for a guy to do it to a girl, the girl is gonna be like, oh, you're a creeper. But if a girl does it, she's not a creeper. You know what I mean? They have this. There's a stigma around that. It's kind of like fucked up, in my opinion. I feel like a guy goes up to you. I always give them the time of day. I'll be like, okay, hi, how are you doing? I'll talk to them, because if it was the other way around, they don't call girls creepers, but they call the guys creepers, and I don't think that's fair.
It's not fair, because I'm especially somebody who really likes it when a guy is aggressive and initiating and making the first move and coming up to me, because I'm just like, I've always been really old school in that way. Like I can be more dominant. I can make the first move for sure, but it like doesn't come as natural, and I find it hotter when I'm the receiver. So and that sucks, and that's something that I feel like a lot of girls may also agree with, and it sucks that guys can get the bad rap of like being a creeper, when it's like society is also telling them to make the first move, to be alpha, to go for it, to be confident. So I guess in the middle lies the whole like reading between the lines, reading body language, like picking up on hints. Because a lot of times, like, I won't like directly, when I was single, like flat out reject a guy. Like I would feel bad. I wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. So I would just be nice, but then that's not a clear signal of like not interested in you sexually.
Yeah. Like I'll talk to the person, like, like say back in the day, I mean, back in the day was different, but I've learned to not reject somebody just like that. I'm not saying that I'm gonna go for you, but I'm not gonna be like, if the guy's like, oh hey, how you doing? You know, just having a simple conversation, like a simple hi, you know, like a little hey, you look beautiful today. I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. Like I won't be like ill or walk away. You know, I'll just say thank you. I'll be courteous because, you know, it took them that gut to say that. It took them that courage to say it. You know, I don't want to make them feel less of, you know, because that enough rejection can make you feel a certain way, and everybody wants to be happy.
For
and
sure.
Rejection is not a good thing to happen. We've all had some kind of rejection in some type of way. So
yeah, I still fight the rejection. I've had some rejection. It's like I like bury it away, and it's like I have to constantly work through those feelings. Do you think that because you've been at this, right? You said it for about almost 10 years now. And in the midst of this has been like the whole Me Too movement. And I'll hear from guys too, because I have a lot of guys that are like fans of this podcast and my other show that I do on Compound Media. And I'll hear a lot of guys say that the Me Too movement has sort of made them feel unstable and unsure of how to approach women, and maybe made them feel a bit more nervous. Like, have you noticed that too? Have you noticed a change in the way guys feel and the way they act since like all the Me Too stuff has happened?
Not really.
No, not really. Not in porn, or just not in general?
Not in general. No, not in general. But I mean, I could see how that could take effect. Now, at this present time, I know with the Me Too movement, but I mean, there's so many other things going on right now. Like,
oh yeah,
Me Too movement has kind of like not pushed to the side, but like as far as relevancy right now, the COVID stuff, the riots and everything.
It's definitely less relevant for sure.
Yeah, but I can see how that could be an effect. But I feel like as long as a guy approaches a girl in a very gentleman like, oh hey, hey, good morning, hope you're having a wonderful day. Like, there's always a nice way. Or don't even compliment her. Just say, hey, good morning, hope you're having a beautiful day, or something like that. That right there is a really nice compliment, you know, to girl. Let's say you go walk into a coffee shop and you see a beautiful woman. You can grab your coffee, you can go sit next to her or stand next to her. Like, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Would you like to have some company? You know, we can, you know, I see you sitting alone. Like,
okay, all right.
Like, just be very sly with it. Don't be over flirtatious. Just be very cool and just be cool. You know, don't overdo it. When the guys overdo it, that's the wrong thing to do. Do not overdo it, because that when the girl, they get a little bit like, they put up a wall right there. They're like, no. If you're too overconfident, confidence is great, but too
don't be cocky. Yeah.
Don't be cocky, because that's a wall right there.
Don't be like, I got this pussy.
Nope. Bye. Don't. No.
I also really appreciate compliments that have nothing to do with like my tits or my ass. Like if a guy's like, I love your outfit, I love your hair, like almost like compliments you would like love to hear from like a gay guy or a girl, because that's disarming. And that's, to me, that's like, oh wow, like that. It's like you noticed something specific about me other than like just my body, you know?
Absolutely. That too. That is it's a big thing. I agree.
Like, I like your shoes. Really?
Or like you can go out and get your hair done for the first time, it's nice and fresh. Like, oh my gosh, your hair looks really, really great. Good job, or something like that. So yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Definitely.
Good. Now everybody knows what to do if they see a hottie in a coffee shop.
No over arrogance. Just take it easy. Play it safe. And then maybe later on you can give her a better compliment. But right now, play it safe.
Yeah, you gotta wade in.
They perceive things negatively, and everybody has to take a chill pill. They're just too over dramatic with things. You can't even post anything on social media now without anybody attacking you. So it's like,
it's very frustrating. Yeah.
You can't have an opinion without somebody be like, oh well, this and that. Well, take your opinion and shove it up your ass.
Right, because exactly. Do you feel like you struggle with and do you feel like girls in porn struggle with like you can't at all say your opinion on anything, even a little bit political, social? Is there like a fear of being kind of put in a box politically, whether it's like left or right? Or
so
even
girls in the industry, definitely, I see that happen every single day for myself since I've been with Vivid. One of the things we don't talk about, it's not a no-no, but I know just common sense, in my opinion, is since my I think it's live, everybody listens to it. It's over the air, it's anybody can listen to it. I don't talk about politics, and if somebody brings up politics, I keep everything neutral because I want to be a team player. I can't be like, well, I love Trump. or I love, the other player. You know what I mean? I just keep it
That
neutral.
older other white guy.
Yeah, the other white guy, or Obama. I don't ever say I like a side. I don't ever say yes, I like this and that. I just play it neutral because everybody has their opinions. I have guys who are gun holders from Texas, and they're diehard Trump lovers, and then there's the other ones that they hate Trump. You know what I mean? So I always play it neutral. I never say my political views. That's just for me to know and for me to just keep to myself and my family, friends, whatever. But like when it comes to like on social media, I don't ever discuss politics. I won't even comment on it. And then it's just something about me being a host on radio. It's been instilled in my head. Don't ever comment on it because it can backfire on you. You see how it backfires on so many people just for talking about politics. It's not me being a coward. It's just me being safe,
smart. Yeah.
being safe and smart because I don't want it to come back to me and be like, well, you're a little bit too harsh on this and that. I might lose my radio job because of it. Or, you know what I mean? So for me, I just keep it neutral. Neutral is always good when it comes to certain things. And on social media, like I have my ND, which is my real name, and Nikki Delano, which is my stage name. Nikki Delano is neutral. ND can do on her Facebook whatever she wants. If she's a Trump lover, if she's an Obama lover, I can say whatever the F I want to say about it. But when it comes to Nikki Delano, Nikki Delano is neutral.
Right, because it's not, there's kind of not necessarily a need for it because it's not like a political themed show. And it's tough to navigate sometimes for sure. Like I know like comedians get a lot of shit for expressing views that are anything outside of like the liberal mob. But I feel like there's free speech. So it's like we should be able to say what we want. But it's like, of course, it does affect, people if they're like super one way or the other. They're not going to want to. Yeah.
That is why I only do that things on my own personal pages, which I really don't anyway, because I really don't really give a F about it. I do, I do my taxes, I file my census, I do what I have to do. But when it comes to making my choices as far as like who I'm voting for, that's my decision and it's for me to know, no one else to find out because, that's just my thing. But yeah. It's just as being a public figure as well as yourself too, I feel like you get attacked with these things unless that's your image and that's what you're doing and that's what you're fighting for as an activist and that's something different. But being an adult film star and being this and that, I think that I do want to open up a podcast and do like a more mainstream, like I might talk about that kind of stuff in there as well. But for right now, being the adult film star, that is something neutral. But
you can keep it separate, yeah.
But I think when I open up my Nicole is my real nickname, and Nikki is my stage name and my nickname. I want to do more stuff about, like my eating disorder back in the day, or like my real life stuff, so things like that.
For sure. Did you have were you dealing with that before you got in the industry?
When I was 18 years old, yeah, I did. I had an eating disorder, and it's funny. I never received treatment or anything, and when I was dating a guy, and then when I broke up with him and I got with another guy, it just disappeared. It's like
really, wow.
It went away. And normally girls suffer from that for a long time, and for me, I don't know. It's just one day I just started eating a little bit by little bit. He would take me out to restaurants. No one knew I was dealing with it, and it disappeared.
Do you think it was as simple as like you were afraid of gaining weight, or was it something deeper than that?
It was me taking control of myself and me saying that, I can do this to my body. I'm in control of my body. And if I want to be this skinny, I want to be this skinny. And I had like this whole like this persona. This is way before the industry. And I was like, nope, I was eating like 500 calories a day. I was just starving myself.
Would you count them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Going to dinner with me is just never easy to go to dinner with me. Like, it was the worst. So,
like in general or now?
In general, because I was so picky with my food and I was so like, I would dab the oils off. I would like take the chicken and like put it in a paper and like.
Oh, wow.
It was like so horrible to go out with to eat. So, I don't know what happened. He would, the new guy I was dating, he would always go out to dinners, go out to eat. And then I think that helped me mentally and physically like I was still picky with the food, but it just was like, you know what? One day it just disappeared. Like I said, it disappeared. I was like, what? And then I thought about it. I was like, damn, it disappeared. Like I didn't say one day I woke up, I was like, oh, it's gone. It's just, I realized later on as I grew up a little bit more, it just, you know.
Yeah, it's like if you were feeling more love from this guy, or you were just growing and evolving as a person, maybe you felt less like you needed to really control.
I think me evolving as a person, I think that helped make it just go away. Like it just went away. Like
wow.
people like say somebody with drugs, they have a drug addiction and they're battling it, and it's in their mind all the time. For me, food was always on my mind.
Wow.
And one day, like I realized, wow, like yeah, I just eat normal. I eat normal. I eat whatever the fuck I want in moderation. I just
good for you.
Yeah, I'm so grateful that it just went away. This was years ago, but yeah. So
yeah, I had an ex, like with my last boyfriend, I was like, really? I was maybe like, maybe almost 20 pounds less, actually. Shit, because I gained a little in the quarantine, but I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna get on top of it.
Pounds, so don't feel bad.
And I'm like 5'3", so it's like, but I think it was a really toxic relationship, and I was like taking a lot of Adderall. I mean, I had a prescription, but I think that was messing with me, and also there was a lot of stress in the relationship, so I think that's another reason why I just was like the thinnest I'd ever been. But at the time I thought like I looked really great, and I was like, finally I've made it, because like my whole life, me, my mom, my sister, we've always been doing like some kind of diet at some point. But it's nice to like get comfortable, and it's something you have to work on all the time and think of,
It's a lifestyle. And I think too, like the guy I was dating at the time, maybe he made me feel insecure. I think that's who played when I had an eating disorder. Maybe he made me feel insecure about something. I don't know. I'm a psychology major, but for me, I felt like maybe it was something he made me feel insecure about, or maybe myself. I looked in the mirror and I felt insecure about something. But as you evolve as an individual, your mindset changes. So I think as my mind got older and mature, I didn't feel the need that I had to please that person or please people. I have to be happy with myself, because if I'm not happy with myself, who gives a fuck about everybody else? I could be fat and happy and be fat and happy, but if I'm not happy with me, then there's no point,
Yeah, I struggled so much, and I'm still a big people pleaser. I mean, that's just it was ingrained. Yeah.
I'm like psychology majors, like we're such people pleasers. Like it's like any little thing you can say to me and I'll take it. I'm like analyzing. I'm like, did she mean that? Mean that? That's so annoying for me.
Are you a water sign too?
I'm a fire sign.
Oh, okay.
I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries, and I'm just like my major in college, my BA, it's in forensic psychology. So my thing was it's a profiler.
That's really cool.
I'm a profiler, so I'm really good at really reading body languages and reading people. Like, and I get intuitions and like, I mean, I never pursued my master's because I got into the adult industry. But even if I did, I would love to. But I've always had intuitions about people, like like I can feel a certain vibe from them, or like get this, like, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Like I can kind of like read people, not read them like, oh, they like
read their mind.
But like I can feel body language and I can read
for sure.
Signs for sure. So
what are some of the misconceptions about adult film stars that you feel like you dealt with early on and you think still exist today?
They say the adult film stars that they are all drug addicts, alcoholics, that they are stupid, none of them have college degrees, that we are basically that we're uneducated, and we all do it because we're prostitutes, or we need money, or this and that, yada yada yada. When I went to college, I mean, maybe I can go back and do this now, but my thing was always to work in human trafficking. That was my
wow.
That was my job. I wanted to work in human trafficking. Maybe I could even go into it now.
Yes, it's been a huge problem. I mean, that's one of the things that Trump has really been cracking down on.
My goal in college was to work for the FBI and work in human trafficking for women.
Wow.
And like kind of like become one of those girls and try to like get my way into there, and this I could
Report back. Yeah.
like basically not report back because I'll be stuck there for a while, but like try to like like I wanted that's what I wanted to do, or become NYPD, because I went to John Jay College in New York City. That's the cop school. That's a place where everybody, when you become a cop, that's the school you go to. If you want to work for the government, that's the college you go to.
That's
so
awesome.
It was pretty cool. So I wanted to do that. And then doing modeling as a hobby, though, that's kind of how I ended up in the adult industry. But if I didn't do modeling or anything, I would have ended up being NYPD, or FBI is a really big one to get into. It's hard, but if you have an accounting background, it's really easier to get into. Now I know that. But also, is it? Ooh, sorry. My Netflix thing is on. It's like, oh, this movie came out today. I'm like, ooh. but yeah, I have a bachelor's in forensic psychology, a double minor in addiction studies and criminology, and I have my K-Stacks. So I could either go into social work, but social work, I mean, for me, I'm such an empathetic person. If I watch a movie of someone giving birth, I feel the birth pains. I'm just that kind of person, so I can never be a social worker.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, I feel feelings. Like
me, you're an empath. You like pick up on.
Empath to the max. Like I cry. I'm a crier.
Yeah, me too.
So it's tough. Like
it is tough. Yeah.
So for me, going and helping others, like the NYPD, like FBI, like that's something I wanted to do. And working with women in that industry, for me, it's a big one. And so that was my goal, and that can always still happen because they still need people, and I can fit a profile of a person that without wear lipstick that get taken off of the streets and get put into, like, it's a big thing. It's huge in America.
It is.
And people don't understand that. They do,
because they're not talking about it. I mean, only very recently, a little bit, it has been more in the mainstream media, but like it's been a huge problem for like a very long time. And it's like celebrities and the elites are all tied up in it. And it's just.
So going back to the adult industry, they think that we're stupid and we're all in it for the money. I love I love doing what I do, and I'm very selective on who I shoot for, on what projects I take on. So I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for my branding, for things that I love, and I only shoot things that I want to shoot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go shoot. There's so many categories out there, and they're great. Many women love doing different things, and I know for a fact, like, there's this guy named Dredd, and they want me to shoot with Dredd. He has like a Coke can, a penis, and it's huge. And they constantly try to book me for a big, huge company to work with him for anal. And I always turn it down. Some girls will be like, yeah, I'll do it. And they'll struggle. And it'll hurt.
And wow. Really? Like a literal Coke can?
Like his dick is so ginormous. And they want me to shoot with him. And they constantly ask me all the time. And they're offering me a lot of money, but I'm like, no, I know my body, I know my limits. I don't want to wear a diaper, I like my butt the way it is. So
you're like, I don't want to be in a wheelchair.
Some girls can do it though. Some girls, I don't knock it, they can do it, but I know personally myself, I cannot do it. I know my body, I know my limits, I know it's gonna hurt me, and I don't want to get hurt. I'd rather not take that 10 grand. I'd rather just have my body intact and not have to like do something that I'm gonna regret later on down the line, because the money's now, but that 10 grand.
It's true.
Instantly,
you only get one butthole, Nikki, and you gotta just watch it.
Exactly. And I don't want to have to spend money. It could be $10,000 in diapers.
Put it back together.
Yeah, I don't want to have a fucking stitched up butthole and then $10,000 later, that money went to my butthole surgery.
Totally. Nikki, this is so great. And you have a big exciting thing coming out in August. So I will follow up with you next month, and we'll maybe do another episode or another thing to promote that. So I'm very excited about that too. Nikki, where can people find you or check out your work?
This is my favorite one. Okay, so on my social media, there's so many of you guys get catfished. Do not get catfished. Both of my profiles on Twitter and Instagram have blue little checks. They're verified. It's Nikki Delano, NIKKIDELANO, and it's both for Instagram and Twitter. Blue little checks, guys. There's so many guys that get mad at me thinking I'm scamming them on fake profiles. Guys, only find the blue checks. And then every Wednesday at 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST, you can listen to my radio show on Vivid, SiriusXM 415, live on the air. And yeah, follow my Snapchat, Nikki D Live.
Awesome. I love it. Nikki, thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, we'll follow up when that big exciting thing comes out and we can talk about it. And yeah, everybody follow Nikki and happy fapping.
Thank you so much for having me, and we'll talk soon. You are amazing.
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much.
Bye, love.